Welcome back to AER channel, and welcome to another lecture of this SolidWorks series. So from this lecture onwards, we are going to see how we can just provide a dimension to an object. So in the line lecture or the line command, when we have seen the line command, we have seen that how to just use the parameter in the property section to provide the dimension. But I have told you that we are going to discuss about a more important way to dimension an object, and that was these dimensions or the dimension tab. So we are going to discuss about the horizontal, vertical, and smart dimension in this lecture. So okay, to go for that, I'm going to start the SolidWorks, and we can see that I have already created some of the shapes over here, and this is the dimension tab. Just in front of the sketch or the exit sketch option, we will see that there is smart dimension. But if I'm going to click on the arrow that is provided, we can see that the list of many kinds of dimensions, and that will going to be available over here. Basically, smart dimension is the most powerful one, but we are going to see all of them. So we are going to see three tools over here, or three dimension tools, and those are the horizontal, vertical, and smart dimension. So as the name suggests, horizontal dimension, we are going to provide the horizontal dimension only. So if I'm going to click on this, it will going to ask you to select the object. So if I'm going to click on this object, let's say that this is the horizontal line, and I want to provide the dimension. So I have to just click on this, and we can see that it will going to show up a dimension of this object. So this is the default dimension or the random dimensions that it is showing. Let's say that I have created a line like this. So I have created it with some random value, so that random value only it is showing up over here, which is 109.19. And since I'm using the mm as my unit, so it is 109.19 mm. Once this dimensions is hovering, we just have to click our mouse button, and that will going to be settled up, and the modification dialog box will going to open. So as the name says this, it will help you to modify that dimension. So what do we have to do? We just have to provide the dimension that we want. Let's say that I want to have it to 120, so I just have to write, or I have to select all the thing, just write 120 over here, and we don't have to write any unit since we are working in the case in dimensions. So it will going to take the unit as mmgs, but if you want to have any alternate unit, then you can just go for this unit section, and from here we can see that there are list of alternate unit that we can use. We can use centimeter, we can use feet, we can use inches, meter, and also if we want other units, we can just select it from here. But if we are not going to provide any units, it will automatically be going to take it as mm. Just make this OK, and we can see that now it has been updated to 120. But it's not like that, we can't edit it again. We just have to double click over this value again, and again this modification box will going to open, and we have to provide the new value. Just make it OK, and the line will accordingly going to be edited. So it's not only the line, we can just edit any of the shapes. So this is the beauty of the high-end software or the parametric software. We can just edit the parameter, and accordingly it will going to edit the shapes or objects as well. Now let's just see some more things related to this modification box. If I'm going to click on this, we can see that some more things are available on the top. First one is the OK and cross button to just edit it or ignore it. And there's a regenerate option. If I'm going to tick mark over this, and basically if I'm going to provide a value, and I'm going to click on anywhere on the screen, we can see that I have provided this value, but the line will not going to be edited. If I'm going to click on this again, it will going to be edited. So if this regenerate option will be off, then we have to provide the value. Okay, basically we have to provide the value, and if we want to see it live, then we just have to press the regenerate, and it's going to be show up that one. But if I will not going to press the regenerate, I have to press the OK button, then only it will going to reflect that dimension. Like right now it is not reflecting. If I'm going to make it OK, then only it will going to be reflected. But if we want it to be reflected on this modification box, then we have to click on this regenerate option. The next over here is known as the reverse option. So with the help of this, we can just reverse the dimension. So how to just reverse it? We just have to click on this one, and we can see that now the dimension has been reversed. So a minus sign will going to be added up. So with the help of this, we can just reverse it. So with the help of this, we can just change the increment value. And what is this increment value? So over here, with the help of this spin or the dial, we can just spin it, and we can just rotate, or we can just change the value. But we can just change it what will be the increment value of the spin. we can make it as 20, and we can just select, or we can just add up a 20 over here. And now if we are going to spin the dialog, it will going to increment it with the value of 20. This is option which is known as mark dimension, imported into a drawing. So if I'm going to untick mark over this will not going to reflect in the drawing that we are going to see when we are going to learn about the drawing section. That is the last section of this option, basically of this course. So these are all things that in the modification box. And one more thing, here we can just add up the calculator mode. Like, let's say that we want to calculate the value. Let's say that I want to add up 125 plus 125. Then I have to add up in the mind and put the value. And you can just simply write 125 plus 125. And it will going to take that value. We can see that it will going to take this as 250. Let's say that we want to represent it as 250 divided by 3. We can have this value and it will automatically go into calculate that value. So these are the things that we can do up over here. Just like the horizontal, we have the vertical, which we are going to represent only the vertical dimensions, with the help of which we can just represent only the vertical dimensions. And then we are going to discuss about the most powerful tool, and that is known as the Smart Dimension. Believe me, it will going to work. It will going to do the work of all the dimensions that is present. So if we have the Smart Dimension, we can have the work of all the types of dimensions that is present. Click on the Smart Dimension. As the name, it will smartly going to detect the values, like let's say that I have an inclined line. And then I'm going to select the Smart Dimension, or simply just click on the Smart Dimension that is present over here. Click on the line, and we can see that it will automatically detect what kind of dimension a user wants. Like I'm moving my mouse in the inclined dimension, so it is representing its inclined value. If I'm going to move it on the vertical, it will going to represent its vertical dimension. In the horizontal, it will going to represent its horizontal dimension. So we can see that it will going to be changed the values according to the mouse. And it will also going to detect the shape, and accordingly it will going to provide the values. Like this is a circle, so if I'm going to click on this, it will going to show up the radius value. So this is what Smart Dimension is going to do for us. Similarly, if we are going to select these two lines, it will going to represent its angular value. Similarly for the arc as well, we can see that it will going to represent the arc like this, the radius of the arc basically. And for this also we can see that it will going to represent the values. And same modification thing is same, we just have to modify it from here. Like if I'm going to select these 2 points, it will going to represent the values between these 2 points, so that also it will going to do. So we can see that how smartly it is working for our dimension section. So this is all about the Smart Dimension, horizontal and the vertical dimension, and that's all for this lecture, and we will going to catch up you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like. Hope it can be a little helpful and useful.